Hey, Debbie Martin here from Debbie's Scrapbooking Buddies channel. Today we're going to be making these fun Thanksgiving pages. We're going to make this fun little turkey with his googly little eyes. I'm going to give you some tips on how to get his little feathers all correctly, some fun corners, and it's time to make a turkey. Let's get started. What you're going to need is a piece of, you can use some scraps if you want to, but you're probably going to need a full piece of cranberry, caramel, canary, and pumpkin, or any yellow and orange that you want. But I do like the caramel with the turkey. So we are going to start with the cranberry, and you need 4-inch strips for the turkey feathers. And let's start with that. So you need the 4-inch strip for that, and we also need an 8x8 square. Okay, so go ahead and cut that right now. That'll be done for what we need. And then we need a 4x4 for a picture. Okay, and this is extra, so you can set that aside. Set your trimmer aside and grab your Dollop Arches. And I think I forgot to tell you, you're also going to need the largest and the medium size circle along with the blue blade and a pair of scissors. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do the turkey feathers, and we are going to do both the frame and borders, so you're going to get to see how to do both of those today. This is an oldie but a goodie. It's been around for a little while. It's still available, and it is beautiful. So the first time we started it right here on this line, and we're going to need 5 from each color. So we just punch 2, you bring it down, you match it up over covering the blue, and then make sure that this has got a nice straight edge at the back. And I almost always stand up so I can see from above. So there's 2. We're going to punch one more time because we need 5 altogether. Okay? And to save a little bit of time, I went ahead and punched the other 2 already. But if you're working alongside of me, you'll be able to pause the video. So no worries on that. So what we're going to do now is these are 1 inch. So we're going to bring it down. Let's make sure you can see it. Line it up. And I also want to cut right in between here. So I am going to use my sight guides to make sure that it's going right in between those 2 little circles. Okay. And I need 5 of these. So I hope you're having a good day. It is super windy here in Northwest Indiana today. 50 to 60 mile-an-hour winds. I went out a little bit ago and it's crazy. Totally crazy. 2, 3, and this is going to be 4. And 5. Doesn't have to be exact, no. Would turkey feathers be exact? No. Okay, there's your 5. Set that aside. And now we're going to grab our caramel paper. So I already did this for the yellow and the pumpkin color. Did the exact same thing, cut it at 4 inches, and did that, and then at 1 inch. So now we need to do our turkey base. Okay, so I just want to make sure that we're doing, this is going to be the base of our turkey. And we're also going to do some mats out of here. So make sure that you're pushing it all the way to the side over here when you're doing that. We are going to do 2 of these. Blue blade inside. And this is the largest circle. Okay, 1 more of those. Okay, and then we need his little head, and we're going to use the medium circle inside blue blade. Okay. So let's set this aside. We're going to do some mats out of here. So let's go ahead and just do that since we've got our trimmer and it's here right now. It'll be done. Take it over to the 6-inch line. And we are going to do 4x6 mats. So there's 1, 2, 3. Now our mats will all be cut when we're ready to put our pages together. Set that aside. That's our extra. Now we're ready to put the turkey together. Like I said, it was a little tricky to try to figure out the best way to get them even. So this is the way I figured it out. We're going to take a little bit of repo, and we're going to use regular too. We're going to take a little bit of repo and we're going to put it right here in the middle. Just like that. Make sure you can still see it. Now we're going to start with our dark red or the cranberry ones. I tried it 2 or 3 ways and I think this is the easiest. Let's put, got a little cough today. We're going to put a little bit on each of that. Now for the first one, we're bringing it down. We're going to put it at the 5-inch line. And it's straight. So just the edge of it is right here. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Put a little bit of adhesive on here. We're bringing this down, just the edge right there. Putting it on this 5-inch line. Never fails that my phone would ring while I'm doing a video. And, you know, sometimes I put it in the back and I forgot to do it today. So there you go. So, what I'm doing is I am going to put a little adhesive on this. This is going to come right in here, and we want it on the edge, just like we did this one. This one's going to be at a little bit of an angle. We don't want the edge coming off of there, but it's going to go right in between the 9 and the 10. Let's do the same thing over here, right off the edge. This one is going to, because we've got a 45-degree angle right here, that one's going to go right there. And one more. And this one's going to go straight up, right on that 90-degree angle line. Is it going to be perfect? No, but it's going to be closer than any other way that I tried to do this. Now these are going to come in at a little bit of an angle. We want to see the feathers, but we also want to fill in this little space. Okay. And, oh, we didn't bring that one down far enough. We want to make sure that we're bringing it far enough. Just like that, where its edges there. Perfect. Now we're doing orange. And making sure that that's going to be covered up by our other circle. That's why we cut 2 circles. Oops, now we're going to go yellow. Put a little adhesive on the yellow. Bring that in here about like that. Okay. Move them just a smidge. There you go. Now we're ready for orange again. Bring our orange in about like this. Bring our yellow in about like that. Orange. In here. And yellow. Okay, so now we have our second circle that's going to come right in and cover that up. And I guess I only used 5 on these. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I guess you got 2 extra of these. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's put a little adhesive because we really want everything to stay. And I'm going to throw some on here too, because we'll move this turkey around a little bit to put him on our page. Okay, now we got a little turkey head. So what we're going to do, we've got these leftover, or we had the other leftovers. We need to make us a little nose for our turkey. So let's go ahead and stick his head down about like that. And I love using googly eyes when I do like little creatures. I picked these up at the dollar store. Could you punch white and black circles? Absolutely. There, you could do that. or you can just use, it's a giant pack. And of course, you know, they're $1.25. And I love big eyes on things, so I'm going to use the bigger size. Look how cute those are. Okay, we're going to put that down with some adhesive. So let's put some adhesive on there. Then we're going to cut his little nose and his little gobbler. Okay, we got his eyes right here. I'm excited about the corners we're doing today too. I don't know if you've ever done this method, but it is kind of cool. So let's put that down about right there. I'd like him a little bit closer. He might look like a crazy turkey, and that's okay too. Okay, so now we've got a corner down here, or you could take a corner of the extra little piece of paper, but I don't think we need it that large. So I'm going to bring it in so you can see it, kind of making a triangle. But instead of having the top of it be flat, we're going to kind of round that a little bit so that it looks just like that. Okay, so this is a good use of your repo tape right now. Okay, so we want to lift it up and move it. So let's put that little guy right there. Now we're going to need feet for him too, so don't forget about that. We're coming back to do that. So grab a piece of the little extra. You had an extra 4x4, and you're going to freehand this, and you can do it kind of like a droplet. It can be any size you want. Let me show you what I did here. Okay, you can freehand that. I know you can do it. I try not to do a lot of things that you have to freehand because I know it's a little intimidating. But let's stick this off about right there. Get his nose a little straighter. Now, since we know where we want that, let's go ahead and put a little bit of regular tape on that. And bring that in here. There he is. Cute. Okay, now we're ready to do our fun corners. So we're going to lift our turkey up, bring him over here. We're going to give him feet in just a minute. Remember, we got this extra orange one we're going to use. But now we're going to do the corners. So when we cut our red, remember we cut this 8x8 square. Also, when I cut the yellow and the orange, I also cut a 6x6 and a 4x4. This is how we're going to make our corners, okay? So this is different. Instead of starting right here on this line, we're going to start on this line right here. This is how you would make a frame. You could do a 12x12, any even number. So let me show you right here. See how I'm lining it up on this line right there? So I'm lining it up on that line, pushing, and then you're bringing it over. Same thing as you did last time, matching up the design. And this time you're going to press it 3 times. You're always going to be left with this corner. It's going to come off, but you just twist it, put it in here. You can pull that off. We're going to match up that line, do it again. Match up that line, do it again. Twist it. Come over here, match the outer line. Remember, we're doing the outer line, not the inner line. Match that up. Once again, always making sure that you got a nice straight edge, that you've pressed it all the way to the back. Turn it. Match it up. Press. Match it up for your last time. And there you end up with this cute 8x8 frame. Okay, now we're going to do that again. This was the 6x6, but instead of pressing it twice, 3 times, we're going to do twice. I messed up. Because once again, you got to start it here. So let me just grab another piece of yellow paper, because actually we don't need all corners. We'll be fine because we're only using 3 of the corners. So if you mess up once, it'll be fine. So we're going to bring this out here and do it again. Twist it. And one more time. And twist it. And I'll flip this back over here. It would have made a design just like that. And yes, if I was Downstairs I could have went and got a different piece of paper for you. We're not using all 4 sides. We're going to be totally fine. So let's do this. This time we are only pressing once. So it goes in and it goes exactly in between these two. Press, flip, put in between the 2 lines, press, in between the 2 lines, press, and in between the 2 lines. These are just fun designs on your page too, if you ever wanted to do that. Okay, there we go. Let's get rid of all the garbage we don't need. Now we're ready to make our fun corners. So for this, we're going to bring it in and we're going to line it up, and we're cutting on the corners as close to the center as we can get. It's not, doesn't have to be exact, just close. And that looks pretty good on that end. Okay, now we've got a nice straight edge we can work with. And see how it's not perfect, but you're never going to notice that. Okay, we're going to bring this in. I want to make sure that's right in between there. Cut that again. These are our fun corners. Do this again. Now we're going to do the same thing with this one. Let me think about that. Do we do it this direction and this direction? I think we did it this direction. If we didn't, we can always do it again. And this direction and this direction. Okay, then we got this one. We're going to come down here. This is the one, if I hadn't messed up, it would have been perfect, but it's not, but it's okay. So don't worry about that. If you make a mistake, you do have extra yellow paper too. So, and we're not using this piece over here, so all is good. Get rid of that and use this. Now we're ready to put our pages together. I just simply used some white paper. I like the bright white, so I grabbed the bright white. We're going to bring that in. You could use any color you want. You could use a dark brown if you wanted, like a hot fudge. You could use an orange. So many options for you. Now let's put this all together. So we're going to start with our fun corner. Oh, don't forget, we still got to do our little turkey feet too. Our fun corner, we're going to come up here and just put that in the corner, just like that. And do the other 3 corners we have. There's no right or wrong reason on the way you put in the corners in, so no worries on that. And you could actually, if you're not going to put adhesive on the ends, you could tuck pictures underneath here if you needed to. Next, we're going to use our yellow. Now you could do it like this and give it a little bit of an edge if you want. You could bring it all the way down here. I kind of like it like that. Let's bring it in like 1/4 of an inch. But you got options. I love options. So we're doing about, there we go. And one more yellow. This just makes fun corners just if you were just doing them on regular pages. Then we have our orange. So let's bring that in and let's do the same thing with that. That just gives it a really fun edge. Okay, and one more. And then I'm gonna show you turkey legs. This is the legs. Okay, so we're ready to bring our turkey in. Remember we cut mats, so we can get a couple mats like this. We're gonna bring this one over here. Now, you had one extra of your orange, okay? So he needs little tiny feet because you had this extra orange too. So it doesn't really matter which one you use, but we're gonna come in and we're gonna cut right through the center. I'm gonna show you it closer up. See how I'm cutting through the center of this. So this is the shape you're left with. I'm going to come back in here and I'm going to cut that in half. And these are becoming our little turkey legs. So grab yourself some repo tape so that we can put this on. And his little leg's going to come down here. And maybe his other little leg about right there. Oops, wrong tape. Hate when I do that. Okay, so you're going to get to see one again. We cut that off like that. Come back down here, cut it in half. Don't use a regular tape. This time you use a repo tape. And bring his little legs down. And we should probably flip that over. So we'll put the adhesive on this side. Bring his little legs in here. Now we're ready to stick our turkey down. So go ahead and grab your adhesive. And then we'll add a few little stickers. Look how cute he is. I kind of have him centered in the page. You could bring him to the left. You could bring him to the right. Let's add our mats, and then let's add a few little stickers, and we will be done. Now you could totally get another picture over on this side if you wanted. Okay. Fun, quick page for Thanksgiving. Hope everyone has a great day tomorrow. Trying to get these done for you today. Maybe if you got time on Friday, if you're not shopping, you can make your Thanksgiving page. Let's bring you about right in here, and let's grab some stickers. And I grabbed stickers from the Noteworthy Days. I love these because they have all the holidays in one place. And I did just hear we're going to have something very similar coming out next year. So I have Thanksgiving Day. You could put this on with foam squares if you want. I think I'm just going to stick it about right here. You could also take some ink and darken this little guy. That would look cute, or a pen. And I don't know, maybe a couple. Maybe a leaf in here would look cute. We got another little, maybe a leaf down here. And I think we're done. Hope you like this. I would love to be able to see your page. If one of my customers, make sure you send me your page so I get to see it. And happy scrapbooking and happy Thanksgiving.